I made my subscribers compete in a battle royale to see who would come out on top. You see, two of the things that I enjoy spending time doing is game development and making YouTube videos for this channel right here. And so I wanted to combine the two in the best way I could think of, by designing a battle royale game where my subscribers are the participants. The first thing I had to do was figure out how to actually get a list of my subscribers into Unity without just copying and pasting names for hours. And luckily, YouTube, along with other Google stuff, has extensive documentation on their APIs, so I can access exactly what I need. The only problem is, this stuff is brain-meltingly complex, and mine turned to soup after just reading it. On the Google developers site, you can see all of the APIs and what they can be used for, and the one I'm interested in is the YouTube Data API. With this, you could do basically everything you can do on YouTube. Find videos, look at user activity, find comments, and of course, get subscriber info. Within the subscriber info, you can either query which channels an account is subscribed to, who is subscribed to that channel, or if an account is subscribed to a specific channel. Of course, I'm looking for who is subscribed to me, so I need to make a call to the API with the My Subscribers parameter set to true. To make calls with the API, it needs to be an authorized request, and so I need to use OAuth 2.0. This is what you see every time you log in or connect a site to a Google account, and luckily this wasn't too hard to get. Using Unity web requests, I can send a ping with all of the information I copied from people smarter than me, and that returns a token. I can then send a normal request to the YouTube Data API alongside this token to get what I want. Now, I have absolutely no idea about the safe or correct way to do this, so there's probably enough information in this code that someone could use to yoink my account, so I'm not showing all of it, but here's the main part. When calling the subscriber snippet, it seems like you can only get 50 results at once, which is a full page, but if I repeat this step and get the next page token every time, I can go through the data all the way to the end. So for a list of say 250 subscribers, that loops through 5 times, and the result looks something like this. This is a subscriber snippet, where you can see all the data about a subscriber, but literally all I care about is this little bit here, the name. So I now have to parse this data and bin off everything that isn't the names, and to do that, it's more JSON parsing magic. So using JSON parse, I can break it up into the subscriber list, and then individual subscriber snippets, and then the snippet's title. That loops through every single one, adds it to a string with a new line, stitches it all together, and finally writes it to a new text file. For a more advanced version of this system, I would store all of this in a CSV file, keep their appearance and win stats for example, but that's something that's more of a nice to have, and I'm trying to keep a project within scope for once. And with that, I have successfully downloaded and parsed my current public subscriber list. So if you're subscribed and don't see yourself in these, remember that you have to have your account subs set to public or else I can't get that info, so you won't be entered into the battle royale. I've got my subs, and now I have to actually build a game for these subscribers to compete in. And luckily for me, I already sort of made one. A while back, I made a short prototype for a game called Peasants Rule, where you play as this king guy here and hire these feeble peasants to fight for you, because you're just too rich and important to do that yourself. And you see this bit here, where the AI kicks in and fights the other AI, that's basically the entire loop for a bot battle royale. So I took all of this clever AI code and chucked it into the Subscriber Wars project. I also took the characters and weapons because there's no point in wasting them. The AI works very similarly to the Peasants Rule one, but I had to modify it quite a bit as the Peasants AI was built around the idea of protecting a target. But in Subscriber Wars, it's a complete free-for-all. A lot of this AI system is actually pretty pointless, it's just one I've been using for a few projects, so it's stayed in, but essentially the main parts of it are the target detection when someone is in range, which just uses a circle collider to check. It then needs the direction of the target and move accordingly. If there's any obstacles in the way, there's detectors for that so that they can step to the side to go around. However, they do sometimes struggle with larger objects. If they get stuck anywhere, well, that's just an environmental hazard, and they'll be picked off or stay there until the zone gets them. When they're walking towards a target, they have a stopping distance that once they reach, they'll stop and start attacking. I kept having issues with them being too close, but again, I honestly don't think it really needs fixing. I can just increase the size of hitboxes and attacks until it stops happening. When the AI hasn't got anything to attack, it was originally programmed to return to its protection target or just stand still and wait, which obviously doesn't work for a battle royale, so I added the exploration state. In this, they basically just pick a random spot to walk to, in the vague direction of the center of the zone, to try to bring them all together. Sometimes it can take a while, but they get there eventually. The combat again is exactly the same, and uses the animations from Peasants Rule to trigger attacks. How it works is when the AI says, "Hey, I'm in range, start swinging," a ball is set in the weapon controller and it goes through the motions. So it starts the swing, stab, or whatever animation the weapon uses, and then when it gets to the impact bit, it triggers an animation event that sends that back to the controller to do a collision check. The reason it does a single collision check instead of just sticking a collider on the weapon is simply so it doesn't hit the same target every frame, because that would be a bit bad. Each weapon has an animation override controller in their data files that basically changes the way the weapon operates. So for heavy weapons or swords, they swing down from above, whereas something like a pitchfork or spear uses a stabbing motion instead. And by using a single animator and an override controller, I can customize this very easily so you can see the different weapons look unique but operate the same way. When everyone spawns in, they're given a random weapon from a list, and some are better than others, so basically, if you spawn with the stick, you're probably not going to win, but there's always the chance. The last thing I added to the game was the zone, which is a staple in every battle royale game, because without it, you could have people sitting on the opposite sides of the map forever. My version is unique, except for the fact it's not at all. This is exactly the same as the gas in Warzone or the storm in Fortnite. It's a circle that keeps on shrinking until there's a winner or it closes in completely. And here we go, the final fight. Remember, if you want to take part in future rounds of subscriber wars, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button. Right, enough self-promo, let's get this round going. In the menu, I've reloaded my sub list to make sure that everyone is included. I'll max out the unit count to ensure everyone's in there, and we'll get this thing started. If I go ahead and hit spacebar, the competitors will be released into the arena. And they're off. With so many competitors, it's chaos already. We've got Tom Proudfoot facing off against Hannah OX. Isaiah Edwards picks up a kill there. Marlene S taking on Freya. Oh, and Isaiah Edwards takes them all out there. Secombodo and Guts Play both trying to fight there at the bottom. Guts Play swinging that stick there, but to no avail. And this scrap is coming to an end, and the Eclipse Wraith takes out Marlene there. Unlucky. Let's check on the rest of the field. There's bodies absolutely everywhere. Shards of Armor gets a kill there. Perplexy Blue has seen some better days. Everyone's looking a bit low. Regina M and Cemetery Gate there just watching from afar. That zone is closing in now. Dai Doan takes one down there. They're all making their way to the center. No one has got much health left. This is going to be close. It's coming down to the final few now. We got Flint Stiffwood at the top. Regina M is at the bottom of the zone there. We got Dorian hiding behind a tree inside the zone. That's a bold strategy. The zone is shrinking, and it's now down to the final two. Flint Stiffwood versus Regina M. They just need to walk a bit closer, and it'll kick off. And here we go. It's Pitchfork versus Dagger. They're swinging away, and Flint Stiffwood gets the final kill. And that is Subscriber Wars. Congratulations to Flint Stiffwood for that monumental win. Unlucky to all of you losers. Let me know what you want to see added to Subscriber Wars in the future versions. Leave a like and subscribe to enter the battle. Thank you to everyone already subscribed. There's been a big influx recently, so thanks for that. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.